Shalom. Allah start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to those who let this pushing this truth. Cause for comes to earth, our faith, truth, and sincerity. Alright, this I'm on the bud, back again, another sitting. I just want to go into this article from Express. It's going to about, the global financial crash warning. As world's majority central banks risk economic earthquake. So all this is leading us to, the great, the great crashing, the great stock market crash and the crashes of all crashes. And it's all leading to a reset, a resync of the reset, the reset. So it can lead to a reset of, it's going to go from, no more paper dollar, the dollar being useless, to now they're going to a digital currency. And that's what's coming. And like I said, eventually it's leading up to the CHIP, the CHIP, which is the MOTB, Revelation 13:16, the CHIP, the CHIP, the CHIP is the MOTB. And like I said, you got these elites, so-called white man, so-called white people, Edomites, so-called white people, red people. This is leading into, they are pushing, the digital currency, and like I said, really they pushing, they're trying to push forward of mandating the CHIP, the CHIP, the CHIP, which is the MOTB. So that's what's coming, man. So I'm gonna go read some of this article. Then I'm gonna get a scripture to back this up. I ain't gonna make this too long. I'll go down to this. It said the global economy could be poised for financial earthquake, which will have devastating ramifications across the world, and lead economics has warned. So it's gonna lead to a whole bunch of a chaotic situation. It just had, I think, today that people coming out on social media and so forth, saying that Bank of America, they money gone. they ain't got access to their money. Their money's not in the account no more. It's gone. So it just shows you that the reset is we in those times right now. So it's gonna be a lot of people out here finna go through that. It's gonna be, where my money, why my money not in my account, the dollar, the paper dollar being useless, you ain't gonna be able to buy nothing with the dollar no more. You gotta have the digital money, whatever, So that's what's coming, man. It's gonna get real out here, man. If it gets serious, people out here finna lose their mind, man. But hey, the apostles and elders, brother, great millstone, been telling you this for years and years. And we know, and we are in those times. The men of the Lord that had His truth, word of the Lord Yahweh Shai. We've been warning you, telling this for years, and we in those times though. So like I say, this definitely is leaning. This is definitely in these times of, it's leaning to, like I say, that great crash, man, the great stock market crash, man. So there's no point of return, So drastic changes are coming, and it's not gonna be good for a good amount of people out here. People out here gonna be just lost and confused and not knowing what to do, and and you're gonna have people out here desperately just, I say, the times of Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose out here, the great tribulation. People out here losing their mind, robbing and killing to survive, man, because it's gonna get that real out here, man. So for the lack of bread and lack of things. But go from there to go down some more on this. It says Professor, if I'm saying his name right, Rogoff warns that the U.S. is either Rugov or Rogoff, one of them, warns that the U.S. government could default on its debt later this year, something which could cause chaos for other leading economies. So that's what's coming. Says on cause U.S. government could face default on this debt later, man, this year, because the United States is in a high debt right now, man. I think it's 31 trillion, which is in his article. I'll get to that. But reading some more of this, speaking to the Telegraph, he added the combination of recession and rise of real interest rates is very dangerous. We were very fortunate that we didn't have a global systematic event in 2022, and we could count our blessings for that, but rates are still going higher. The risk keeps rising. So rates are everything going up, man. You know, we've seen food prices, everything, inflation. You know, everything is high rising right now, and it's it's hurting. You know, hurtful to the economy. But let's see some kind of skip on down. But now I'll read this right quick. The risk of over tightening by the European Central Bank is nothing less catastrophic. Then need to be very careful. Italy is extremely vulnerable, but this could pop anywhere. Global debt has gone on massively since the pandemic. Public debt, corporate debt, everything. So like I say, everything is this is a huge debt. You know, global debt, public debt, corporate debt, everything is and everything's in high debt, man. Everything, is in a high debt. So all this leading to a great crashing, man. You know, if we have a great stock market crash, economy, a great economy crash, it's gonna be crashes all crashes, man. And all that's all it's leading to is the crypto, the digital currency, and like which is gonna leading up to the CHIP, the CHIP, which is the MOTB to be mandatory. I said we definitely in those times now, going forward. But so I'm gonna get the last part of this article. It says, however, economic decisions in the U.S. could lead to another blow in the summer. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned this week that Washington would have to take extraordinary measures as the U.S. reaches its $31.4 trillion debt limit. The debt ceiling in the U.S. essentially sets out the maximum amount the country can borrow. Politicians in Washington can vote to raise it or suspend it. But without this happening, there's a risk the U.S. could default on its debt. So that's where we at. The U.S., the politicians in Washington, they either could raise it or suspend it. So that's where we at, man. So this definitely will be the year that the hopeful, like I said, Pastor Hall deemed this year as the hopeful year. The hopeful year that all prophecies come to pass, man. Definitely in those times where, if they don't raise it, they suspend it, and they don't have no solution for it. It just crash, Like I said, gonna be the crash about crashes, man. It's coming. So I'll get the scriptures to back this up, man. It's Zephaniah 1:10. And it shall come to pass in the day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second. So you had the first stock market crash. I think between 19, 28, 29, something like that. And then you had the second one that happened in 2008. The house market crash. The crashing of that, happened and messed a lot of people up. A good amount of people, I would say. Those that had investments, all that stuff like that, messed them up. So and a great crashing from the hills. So if you have that great crashing, the stock market crash, it's coming, man. It's gonna happen. In this one, there's not gonna be no point of return. It's gonna be a bad, horrific, bad crash, and it's a devastating crash. You can say that, and it's gonna be no point of return. Like I said, all just leading up to is, like I say, the prophecies that apostles and the elders of Great Millstone were saying for years. Man, Lord, that's truth. That CHIP, that C-HIP being mandatory. The way of buying and selling, that's gonna be the main digital currency way of buying and selling. That, because eventually, like I say, debit cards are gonna be useless. So that's what's coming. We definitely in those times, and like I said, this could be the year. It could be a process up to that point. But it could be the year. Not saying this could be the year that it crashed, but it's looking like it, as we go forward. But that day is coming. The day and time is coming for, I say, that great stock market crash, man. Well, gonna be the crash of all crashes. Worse than any crash in U.S. history. In the world for the most part. So, I won't make this too long. I'm going to that. Just going to the article. About it's the crashing. A great global crashes. Is ahead. It's coming. So with that, I don't want to make this too long. So again, like all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Kakadash, to the past elders, to the sister brothers, to the few Akwaf. Sister, to do this and keep the faith in Yahushua. Keep fighting with that. Say shalom. Keep fighting with that. I say shalom.